Hello and thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I appreciate your willingness and participation in this interview. Before we begin, I just want to confirm a couple of things. Do you consent to me recording this interview?
Yes, I give my consent.
All right, let's get started. To begin, could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Eric Eaton.
Where do you currently work and how long have you been in that role?
I'm currently working for Metro Fire and Security, and I'm in that role about 18 months now.
All right, that sounds great. Now I'd like to reflect on your previous position. Which industry did that position work in? And what was your role and how long were you in that position?
I worked for Driftwood Hospitality Management for 15 years, and for five of those years, I served as the Area Director of Engineering. I was located at the Scottsdale Resort and Spa, and also overseeing a few other hotels around the valley.
Now, thinking about that role, what would you consider to be your greatest career achievement?
From January to December 2023 at the Scottsdale Resort, I served as the Director of Engineering, overseeing a full-scale renovation. I coordinated planning and maintenance to keep the project on track while minimizing disruptions, enhancing resort areas, and improving the guest experience.
So what management principles, strategies, or processes do you think you used that contributed to that success?
I completed the renovation through careful planning, clear timelines, and effective delegation. Consistent communication with my team, other departments, and contractors kept everyone aligned, while I stayed adaptable to the challenges and ensured my team had the resources to perform alongside daily operations.
Why do you consider this achievement to be especially impactful in your career?
Managing this year-long renovation was my first project of this scale. It strengthened my planning, communication, and adaptability, helped me build team relationships, and boosted my confidence in handling large, high-pressure projects while improving the resort for the guests.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you some characteristics of servant leadership.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 5, I want you to grade yourself on how you use these characteristics during this achievement.
Okay, sounds good.
So start off listening.
I would probably give myself a 4 for listening.
Now, what about empathy?
Empathy, I probably would have utilized probably a 2.
How about healing?
Healing, probably just a 1.
Now, what about your awareness during the project?
Awareness, I give myself a 5. I had to be on my toes the whole entire time through the renovation.
Absolutely. Now, what about persuasion?
Dealing with contractors on a day-to-day basis with the amount of work that was going on, I think, I'll probably give myself a 3.
Now, thinking about your conceptualization during the project, what would you rate yourself?
I would probably keep it just the same as persuasion with a 3.
How about your foresight throughout the project?
Looking ahead was important, staying on track to meet timelines and deadlines. I would probably give myself a 4.
Now, your stewardship. Wow.
I would probably rate myself a 5 with stewardship.
How about your commitment to the growth of the people around you?
I would also probably just say that was a 5.
Now, the last one I have is your interest in building community.
Yeah, absolutely. With this big, large renovation, a lot of HOAs were attached to this resort. And, keeping a strong community while we were still taking on such a large task was important. So I would give myself a 4 on that.
Awesome. Now I'm actually going to want a specific example of how you applied one of these characteristics to your achievement.
All right. So stewardship guided my approach. I took full ownership of planning and execution, ensured quality and alignment with resort goals, held the team accountable. I had to manage resources efficiently and supported my team to prioritize the project's long-term success.
All right. Now that we focused on your greatest achievement, can we focus on a big challenge you may have faced while in that role?
Well, managing multiple properties at once was a major challenge on its own, including overseeing a renovation at my primary property while handling 2 others stretched my time and workload, leading to long days and strained work-life balance. I realized I needed a better way to manage responsibilities and time.
How did you handle that situation, and what was the outcome of it?
Realizing managing 3 properties, especially with the major renovation, was unsustainable. I advocated for an assistant area director of engineering to help me out, and once he was added to the team, responsibilities were better distributed.
Now I'm going to list the same characteristics as before, but now I want you to apply them to the significant challenge that you faced. We're going to start off with listening again.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay at the 4 for listening.
What about your empathy?
Empathy, we're gonna give that a 1.
Now healing.
Also a 1.
What was your awareness during this challenge?
Awareness was definitely a 5. Again, just being aware of everything what was going on, managing a lot of different tasks and assignments to stay on track and meet deadlines. So yeah, I would definitely give myself a 5.
What about your persuasion throughout this?
Persuasion, I would probably say that that's about a 2.
Now your conceptualization.
I would probably just say about a 3.
What about your foresight?
4.
How about your stewardship?
I would probably say a 3.
Now, what about your commitment to the growth of the people around you during this?
Yeah, I mean, growth is huge. I think growth is one of the important things, not just for individually, but for, the people around me, the community. I think it's always it's good to see growth. So, probably about a 4.
What would you say you would grade yourself on your interest in building community?
I would probably give myself a 3. Again, it's building what's around you is just as important as building this new beautiful hotel.
Now, can you take one of those characteristics and think about how it helped you overcome this challenge?
I believe awareness was key to navigating this challenge. Recognizing my limits and the impact of the team, I requested the assistant area director, enabling better delegation and benefiting both the organization and my well-being, to be honest.
That's great. Now I want to shift focus to the organization as a whole. What would you say the mission, vision, and overall strategy of the organization was while you were there?
I would probably say our mission was to provide safe, high-quality properties and positive experience for guests and staff. I supported this by guiding my team, delegating effectively, and securing resources, ensuring smooth operations, high service quality, and a capable supported team.
Now, how important do you think the entrepreneurial mindset was in achieving these goals? Just for the definition of it, an entrepreneurial mindset is a way of thinking that focuses on identifying opportunities and taking initiative and creating value through innovation and problem solving, even in uncertain or challenging environments.
Well, yeah, I mean, an entrepreneurial mindset helped me identify problems and implement solutions. Realizing managing 3 properties was unsustainable, I advocated for an assistant director using resourcefulness and adaptability to support the team and achieve the organization's goals.
All right. Now I want to again ask you to grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, but using some skills of the entrepreneurial mindset. We're going to start off with the need to achieve.
Need to achieve, I'll rate myself a 5.
Openness to experience.
1 out of 5, I'll probably say a 4.
What about your innovation or creative ability?
I would probably say almost a little more than halfway, a 3.
What about your risk propensity?
Just a 3.
What about proactivity and the work ethic that you showed?
Oh, absolutely. I think staying proactive and maintaining a good work ethic is key to overcome such a large task. So probably I'll give myself a 5.
Now, what about your self-efficiency?
Self-efficiency, I'm going to also say that was definitely a 5.
Now, what about like an internal locus of control, which is what drives you or what affects you internally?
If I had to rate myself 1 to 5, I would probably give it a 4.
All right. Can you share an example of how you applied one of these characteristics in supporting your group's success?
Absolutely. Proactivity was key. Recognizing that managing 3 properties was becoming unmanageable, I requested an assistant director to help distribute these responsibilities. Again, this kept operations efficient, reduced stress, and maintained high standards, supporting the organization's success and, of course, empowering the team.
Finally, aside from servant leadership and the entrepreneurial mindset, what are 2 important lessons or attributes you believe are essential for success?
I would say communication and adaptability are vital. Keeping the team informed and allowing quick adjustments to challenges to ensure smooth operations and achieving goals.
Looking back, is there anything you wish you had avoided that may have delayed or negatively impacted your success?
As I mentioned earlier in the interview, not having adequate support to oversee these properties began to really take a toll on me. In hindsight, I wish I had requested assistance from the outset instead of allowing the situation to become too overwhelming.
That's great. I want to thank you again for your time and sharing your experiences. Your insights are extremely valuable and will greatly help me with my project.
Absolutely, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you.